Next up, another one of my students that has influenced me in my life. When I think about how you're supposed to do things, is that the way it's supposed to be, or is it my way? And with Stephanie, it was her way. She did things her way, and she became an absolute champion. To introduce Stephanie Snyder to the Hall of Fame, I'd like to call up another one of my colleagues, Mrs. Kathy Russell.
Hi. Thanks, Mike. And just for the record, Steph has pink and blue hair going on tonight.
Hello, and thank you for this opportunity. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Kathy Russell, and I had the pleasure of coaching Stephanie for the 4 years she ran in high school. She made it very easy because she inspired me. Although I stand up here with the honor of introducing her tonight, I really share this opportunity with so many others. Coach Petrevitz, Coach Latinskis, members of the Randolph track community, and of course her mom. As many of you know, time is critical to a runner, correct? Once in a while, in the coach's career, we have the opportunity to encounter an athlete that is unique as well as talented. That was Stephanie. She was very talented. And she was very unique. Because it was clear from the very beginning that somehow time wasn't so critical to Stephanie. For instance, time did not make a difference to her one day when she went off on a training run and got lost in Mendham for the entire day. She most recently told me she wanted to complete a marathon. Well, Steph, cross that off your bucket list because I know you did that day. There were also periods of time where Coach P and I would be looking for her to get on the line for a race, and all of a sudden she would appear running up to the race like nothing was wrong. She'd be lacing her spikes, look over, give us a friendly smile, and say, "Don't worry, Coach, I'm just going to run fast." She never announced the time, never said she was going to win, but she would run fast. And as you all know, that's exactly what she did. My most vivid memory of watching Stephanie run happens to be her senior year at the Invitational Mile at Penn. We had spent a lot of time preparing for the race. However, it wasn't until a few days before when we sat down just to look at the runners she was up against. Some of the runners she had raced before, others not. Most of their seed times were ahead of hers, but not unreachable. I told her this was her chance to shine and really push herself to see what she could do. I didn't tell her that day, but I already knew that she was going to win. She had it in her heart, and it was set. She not only won, but she won by 7 seconds. Just had to put that in. This time was important for me. The rest is history. Apparently time does matter. Throughout her prestigious career, most often, her most recent race was her fastest. This is evidenced by the many school and course records she set in her time in Randolph. In addition to winning several county championships, she was a 7-time All-State winner in 3 varsity sports, a state sectional winner, and was the recipient of 12 varsity letters. After completing her college career, she resides in Maryland with her husband and 2 children. She has devoted her training time to inspiring others by instructing yoga. On behalf of all who have inspired and coached her, I would like to present one of the most talented runners to come through Randolph, Stephanie Snyder.
I'm super honored to be here and super grateful to be here. I kind of feel like a baby, I'm not gonna lie. But I'm just blown away by, I think, the community. And you get to a point in your life when you're reflecting back on your school years and your, I guess, accomplishments, and you start to really realize how many people helped you get there and help you see your potential. So I'm really grateful for really the great community of people who did inspire that for me. I guess I'm supposed to thank Linda Coffey for the picture, because unique, as Kathy Russell said, was, I think at most unique was the award that I won in high school. But I have many funny and interesting pictures, so thank you, Linda. And yes, Mr. I'm really honored to be here by the committee that chose me. It's really interesting to recognize the names and put the names with faces and, continue to see that web of support. Ron Sandridge, these are names and people that I knew even, I was probably 7, 8 years old going through the rec program. And then the names that I didn't know, like Tom Sinnis, I know you were the football, I learned the football rec leader there, but again, just another testament to the rec programs continuing to support, and then to, that continuum moving into the high schools. Middle school and then high schools. So as an athlete, I just felt so incredibly supported, and I'm reminded that of being here today. Of course, Coach Kevin, with the rec programs that he was a part of, there's folks here who aren't today that are part of the rec programs, who really helped to foster and continue to help me develop my running career and ability. And then the copies, like Kathy just told me, you were there, and I'm remembering this, timing every event, and more than likely volunteers, like what dedication you all have. And I could really feel it being back here. I live in Baltimore now, as Kathy had mentioned. And teachers, of course, like Lions, who were all hearts. That's one of the things I remember about my high school, again, rec, middle school, and high school, was the heart and the dedication and care that the people had here. And I'm so appreciative of that, because I know that helped to give me the foundation and make me who I am. And Ted Leffler for writing so many late passes to homeroom. My senior year. and then this is that to see what it looks like today. Again, like Ann Clifton, like I knew you as a really tough coach, And I look back, the 83 team, oh my gosh, you guys were legends to me. Tanya, and I remember just looking through because I wanted to be on that list, So talk about mutual inspiration, so inspired. So I just wanted to say that. It's funny to think back. I guess it wasn't Coach P, Glenn Petrovich directly, but I can't remember her name right now. It was a Shaman schoolgirl. But my phys ed teacher, probably in first or second grade, so whenever that was, 86, 87, and she nicknamed me Speedy Gonzalez, because I could beat all the boys, even the 6th graders. I mind you, I was in first or second grade. Is that what I used to want? And, I was beating everyone, and, through 6th grade, I don't know, I was having fun doing it. And by the way, I might be fast, but oh my gosh, the times now, like Kim Sanders, Ron's daughter, like the girls are way faster now. It's amazing. So just honored to be a part of that. I can remember, it's really interesting remembering really just being a part of the legacy and coming all the way back to the rec programs because I started at such a young age, and I can remember even. Kevin Higgins, who has the local running shoe store in the town, and his kids, I babysat his kids, when they were born, and they would cheer for me. They would come, such dedication. They would come, we were 2 and 3 years old, but Marianne and Kevin Higgins would come to the races, and the children would cheer for me, and I'd be finished running, and they'd still be going, go Stephanie! So, I don't know, when I received the call from Len, I was just tickled. I was actually on my way to an advanced yoga teacher training that I was actually going to co-teach with a colleague. And when I got there, he was really jazzed for me. And so he kind of put me on the spotlight there. He said, and Stephanie was just inducted, she's going to be inducted into her Hall of Fame. And all the yoga students go, oh wow, for what, yoga? It was, no, competitive yoga, So, it's funny though, because it made me think, it feels like, in some ways, like a lifetime ago. I still run a little bit. My husband I actually met in college, and he just got 9th place in the Baltimore Half Marathon. A little shout out there. So, I continue to like sing in our family, I guess. But it made me think, well, once a runner, always a runner. Like what's happened in our past truly does make a part of who we are and who we're becoming. And so it's such great humility to be here tonight and to recognize, how much discipline and dedication, how much foundation, and how much confidence I was really guided into, and the potential that folks saw in me in order for me to reach my highs, I also want to just thank, specifically Coach Russell, of course. Thank you so much for the speech. We were kind of joking because I'm like, wow, we're going to have the fastest acceptance speech ever. I'm really nervous about this. But anyway, so she and I just have such a fondness for her. And it's probably been since my last race at Golden West Invitational, which she kind of convinced me I should choose that race over the more standard official one in North Carolina. And she really pushed for me to go. And that's the other thing I have such great respect now, reflecting as an adult, looking back, how really everyone roots for the athletes. If you really want to see them be their best and do their best, and you will go to such great length and distances to do that. And Kathy did. She really did that for me. And she got me to Golden West. And she also helped to convince them to fly me to get to Golden West, And of course, Coach P. I'm just, I'm really balanced too. So Kathy was the passion, the heart, and Coach P, I knew every statistic. So and as far as the 4 splits, that we just divided in 4s, I'm sure you knew, because everyone knows you're a mile and you have 4 laps in a mile, you're not going to be directly the same, at least for me. But he's the stats man. He was he tried to keep me on the straight and narrow. So how do you balance free spirit, But he did his best, and he did a damn good job. I had so much great influence from these coaches and adults in my life, So thank you for that. And of course, the pasta parties, oh my gosh, the trips, we would go down to the state meet sometimes if I was, the only qualifier. We'd go with the big pickup truck, and I don't know what we talk about. We talk about stuff. And, another coach, Coach Latinsix, who, he passed away this year. He was my indoor winter coach who, he passed away in June, and he coached me in my only state title. I was always pretty close. My freshman year, I got 2nd outdoors. My senior year, I got 2nd outdoors. But the time I won the Meet of Champions was my indoor senior year. And he was a phenomenal runner, even until the day he passed. At 50, he was still, if you know anything about 5K road races, dropping 16 minutes. Incredible runner. And I don't know if I knew it at the time, but, at some point I kind of outgrew, my training partners. And I was sometimes the soul of Buddha out there. And sometimes you don't want to be in my mind when I'm out there on my own running. And he would jump in with me. And he's in the middle of coaching about 15 other young ladies. And he would say, come on, I'm going to jump in there with you on this one. And then he'd be click, 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 timing every other person that came across the line after me. And to have that kind of dedication, that's just yet one more example of what I feel like Randolph is. And, I think to kind of sum it up, I think about, the legacies that are being created and what an honor and how inspiring to be a part of that legacy. I recently got a chance to re-meet his wife and some of his recent athletes, not for Randolph directly, and they said they had overheard me, and the athletes came up and they said, "Are you Stephanie Snyder?" And I said, "Well, yeah, and they said, they said, you don't understand, like, we've heard these stories, and when we weren't running well, like, you were the inspiration, like, Al said that you were the one that would know how to hammer the next mile and inspire everyone." And, it's like, I think at some point you don't realize, to the world you might be one person, but, to one person, you're the world. And so many of you mean that to me, and I recognize that now, and I hope there's a famous glimpse of me recognizing that in my, probably precocious teens. And, I guess I do want to, of course, thank just my mom and my father. They weren't so much athletes. My mom definitely holds the fashion that was inspired by her, by my fashion for sure. And she and my father just never allowed me to question my dreams. That's really special. Never allowed me to question my dreams. Just quite for certain gave me that, which is, I really hope that I can give that to my children who are growing up now. And my children, who every day they teach me something new. And yes, my oldest one is pretty fast. And my family for supporting me. My sister, who wasn't so much the athlete and would come to events across the country to watch me run. And my brothers, always so proud of me. And of course my husband, who supports me in every way, shape, and form. Whether it's running or wifing or parenting or yogaing, just lifing in general. Thank you so much.
The special people that come through, and then there's Stephanie Snyder. I'll tell you right now, Stephanie, I'm so proud of you. I love you, and I'm so glad to see you again. And the Hall of Fame is better for Stephanie Snyder.